Good morning. You know, there are times I wonder how many fingers that guy has. Welcome to our Pride service. Today I call it Stonewall Liberation Sunday. It's part of the way that we are with one another here at the Unitarian Universalist congregation at Shelter Rock. We believe that we are about the liberation of many people, including ourselves. We are a welcoming congregation which pledges a welcome to lesbian, bisexual, and gay people who enter this community. We welcome heterosexual and asexual people. We pledge a welcome to people of all gender identities, cisgender and transgender folk, intersex and non-binary people, pangender, gender neutral, gender fluid, gender queer. We pledge that all are welcome here. In the long story of the human family, people gathering in a sacred space and consider things of ultimate worth, the service often begins with just a check to see who's in the room. And so I would invite you now to look about and see who's here. Who are the people we know and love? Maybe give a little wave. Give a little nod, maybe even shake a hand. We look and see who is here that we know and love. We discover those who are expected. We'll inquire into the state of their spirits. We hope to greet the newcomer and to greet the newcomer well. And we'll pay attention to the teaching of the Torah to regard the widow, the orphan, the stranger. My name is David Carl Olson. I serve in ministry here with my colleague, the Reverend Israel Bufardi, our student minister, Dana Moore, and all of us under the care of our lead minister and Minister of Lifespan Religious Education, Reverend Dr. Natalie Fenimore. Have I said it before? You are welcome here. Wherever you are on your spiritual journey, you are welcome to this community of justice seekers. We expect in this place to be about our spiritual growth. And we embrace the wisdom found in the faith and cultures of many people, near and far. We use reason and science and an open heart to explore the meaning and mysteries of our time on this precious planet. To learn more about this congregation and Unitarian Universalism, I encourage you to speak to one of the ministers or to the welcoming people who are out at the welcome desk in the lobby, to look at our website and follow us on Facebook and YouTube. As I said earlier, I call this Stonewall Liberation Sunday. We begin our celebration of Pride by declaring Unitarian Universalism's pledge for liberation for all people. And I'm going to invite you to rise in body and spirit and join with me and Jill Marcus in taking the pledge. I'll read the blue text, and you will join Jill in reading the red. Let us begin.
Good morning, Shelter Rock. My name is Jill Marcus, and I'm a proud member of the LGBTQ group. And a big shout out to Shanti, who's watching us online.
Hey, Shanti.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. And we also want to honor, this is Juneteenth, and we're honoring Father's Day as well. I'm going to do a responsive reading, and I will read the first line, and I'd love for the congregation to read the second line, and then in the very end, we're all going to read together.
Okay.
We answer the call of love. In the face of hate.
We answer the call of love.
In the face of exclusion.
We answer the call of inclusion.
In the face of homophobia.
We answer the call of LGBTQ rights.
In the face of racism.
We answer the call of justice for all people.
Sorry. In the face of xenophobia.
We answer the call of pluralism.
In the face of misogyny.
We answer the call of women's rights.
In the face of demagoguery.
We answer the call of reason.
In the face of religious intolerance.
We answer the call of diversity.
In the face of narrow nationalism.
We answer the call of global community.
In the face of bigotry.
We answer the call of open-mindedness.
In the face of despair.
We answer the call of hope.
As Unitarian Universalists, we answer the call of love now more than ever. And a special recognition that this is the last service in person, for now, for our wonderful ministerial intern, Dana Moore, as well as Claire DeRoche, our incomparable social justice coordinator.
We will be saying goodbye to them in a more formal way on the 30th of June, the last Sunday of this month. Thank you, Jill. We are grateful for these words of Unitarian Universalist Community Minister Julia Corbett-Heimeyer. Won't you remain risen as you join me, as you are able in body and spirit? Join in the song, There's a River Flowin'. You may follow along in the teal hymnal, number 1007, but listen carefully or look carefully as we go along, because I'm going to be making a few adjustments. Each of us today had it in our mind to show up today, to bring ourselves into this worship room or online, to seek the community of this place and time, and the deep river of justice, equity, and compassion that we find in and among each other. I am reminded of the slogan of the civil rights era, I am somebody. So as we sing, let's let the river remind us that we are surrounded by somebodies. And let's sing, There's a River Flowing in My Mind. There's a river flowing in my mind. There's a river flowing in my mind. And it's telling me that I'm somebody. There's a river flowing in my mind. Now, when we're in the river, we move a little bit, all right? So that'll make us, we don't have to hit the rocks the same way every time, but let's just get something going and feel it deep. Even as we recognize the river's power in our minds, we attend to what some Buddhists would call the heart mind, that powerful and multi-dimensional capacity of the self to contain all of our thoughts, our feelings, our emotions, our responses, intuition, temperament, consciousness itself. There's a river, and it's flowing in my heart. There's a river flowing, flowing in my heart, a river flowing, flowing in my heart, and it's telling me that I'm somebody. There's a river flowing in my heart. And yes, beyond that sense of I am somebody, beyond the individuated self, there is this sense of connection we find when we commune with that river. Something connects you to your neighbor, you to me, all of us to each other. There's a river flowing deep within us, between us, among us. There's a river, breathe it in, flowing in my soul. Big breath. There's a river flowing in my soul, flowing in my soul. There's a river flowing, flowing in my soul, and it's telling me that I'm somebody. There's a river flowing in my soul. There's a river flowing. There's a river flowing. There's a river flowing in my soul. Take a deep breath. Let it out. Take a deep breath. Let it out. Take a deep breath for all the people who are among you, among whom you walk, who walk beside you, who move beside you. And please be seated.
Let us remain arisen in body and spirit as we light the chalice. Each Sunday, we light the chalice of our religious heritage. Today, we call to mind Father's Day and look forward to Juneteenth later this week. Our chalice holds the LGBTQ Pride candle that also declares that Black lives matters. We do this for our ancestors who taught us through their various religious traditions in their perseverance in life's struggles and by their queer action for justice and hope. We do this for our children who are discovering themselves while learning the traditions we teach and the freedom our faith affords, and who learn more from our actions than our words. We do this for ourselves, a community of people of diverse sexual orientation and gender identities, so that we are inspired to remember our beginnings, reflect on who we are now, and spread our wings as we understand who we seek to become. Please remain standing as we say and sing our words and song of affirmation.
Love is the doctrine of this congregation. The quest for truth is its sacrament, and service is its prayer. To dwell together in peace, to serve human need. Thank you. Thus do we affirm and covenant with each other. Happy to invite to the podium the chair of our LGBTQ plus subcommittee. You can't imagine something with that big a name being just a subcommittee, but it is. Mary Ellen Pierce.
The reading is by Lois Van Leer, and this is just an excerpt of her reading. This month, they will march, walk, dance, shimmy, and shake, block upon block of undulating colors, flesh, banners, signs, clothing, hands raised, hands linked, apart, together. Singing, shouting, chanting, silent, joyous, tearful, nervous and afraid, proud, defiant, angry, happy, delirious, tentative, ecstatic, courageous, brave, and free. There's the stereotype, the unrecognizable, the flamboyant, the ordinary, the parent, the child, the runaway, the lost, the lonely, and the found. We are gay, lesbian, bisexual, trans, queer, intersex, questioning, and allies. There are those who taunt and jeer with their banners of hate, 10 feet tall. And they say, God made Adam and Eve, not Adam and Steve. Burn to hell, don't say gay. But yet, there are others and other slogans, straight but not narrow. I love my gay child, standing on the side of love. Why do we march? For those who are not able, for those who have been murdered, for those who are still beaten, still taunted, still harassed, still victims, still targets. Why do we march? Because some truths are not self-evident, because all people are not protected equally.
Thank you, Mary Ellen. When we practice being a welcoming community, when we side with love, we open our hearts to one another. Another way we can open up our hearts is by attending to the needs of the larger human family of which we are a part. We take a special collection which extends our vision of beloved community by supporting work in the world which addresses human need. This congregation has been a member of the National Religious Campaign Against Torture, NEARCAT, for many years. June is not only Pride Month, it is Torture Awareness Month. So thus we invite your contributions to support NEARCAT. This organization mobilizes people of faith to end torture in U.S. policy, practice, and culture. NEARCAT's diverse partners share a common commitment to advancing the values of human dignity, human rights, and an end to torture in all its forms, without exception. To achieve its mission, NEARCAT engages in grassroots organizing, public education, and state and national policy advocacy. It has been a leader of both state and national efforts to end prolonged solitary confinement, including some victories here in New York. And today's collection affirms our congregation's commitment to eliminating torture in all its forms. Please be generous. Will you join me in meditating on this pride flame? A small flame burns on the wick of a pillar candle with a striped rainbow pattern and the words, "Black Lives Matter." We ponder this flame to ignite our hearts and minds, to acknowledge the spark of knowledge that enlightens, the shimmering hope that burns, the blazing love that engulfs our actions, the bonfire of our commitment. We ponder this flame for those who celebrate themselves, for those who fear, who hope, who persevere, who side with love for all. We ponder this flame for those who have been ridiculed, that they may find peace, for those who have fought to marry, that they may celebrate, for those who live in uncertainty in the world, that they may have hope. We ponder this flame to renew our commitment that no one shall ever again suffer for the right to love. We ponder this flame to celebrate our kaleidoscope of diversity, working, loving, living on the side of love. For this, we have lit this flame. We continue in the spirit of meditation and attend to the music of Florence Price with the poetry of Langston Hughes. Nathaniel, Brian. Woo. There's a magic thing about this pulpit. You don't have to be 6 feet tall to be here. This is LGBTQI plus Pride Month, and I often talk about how Pride as an annual celebration was established and how it's changed during my lifetime. I recall when Gay Pride was a political event calling for homosexual liberation. In the early days, I remember public school teachers in Providence, Rhode Island, marching with paper bags over their heads for fear of being identified and losing their jobs, wanting to show up to be counted, but with fear. When I moved to Boston, Gay Pride had quickly become Gay and Lesbian Pride. Thank you, Women's Movement. That's WOMYN, Women's Movement. And as I was coming into adulthood, there were times where I saw some of us met with derision, even as the bells of the Unitarian Universalist Arlington Street Church welcomed us as we marched by. When people added bisexual to the name, I knew that there were by identified friends of mine who wondered whether this was a real word of welcome for them, or if there was still going to be deep trust between bi folk, gay men, and lesbian women. Now, some parades sought to link our liberation with others. I remember from South Boston to Soweto, South Africa, we will be free. Early parades wrestled with where people might go who were wearing leather. Front of the parade, back of the parade. What do we do with the bare-chested women? What do we do with the outrageous people in drag? And the question of the inclusion of transgender people and all that that can encompass continued to be called for and misunderstood and half embraced and fully felt, changing from community to community, from congregation to congregation, according to people's experience, in my opinion, according to who was in their family, who was at work, who was in their congregation. Queer Pride today must speak passionately about this moment where movements exist in this country to limit the lives of people. Women whose rights to bodily self-determination are being circumscribed. Trans folk whose autonomy is being challenged by bathroom bills and limitations of medical care. Even here in New York, where vandals have for a second year in the road destroyed flags at the Stonewall Inn National Monument. More importantly, here in Nassau County, where proposals, government choices, proposals that would make county facilities out of bounds for trans women in sports. There are things going on. I hope that today's service will continue to be about our liberation, and even about the liberation that we already have, that we must not just enjoy, but liberation yet to be accomplished. The fights that have to happen in our own time, and expand that human kin might be free. Still, we have great joy in this community and success in this moment, and stories of our people, stories about our Shelter Rock community in many generations. Some of us gathered yesterday in Port Washington to be the rainbow with one another, and here are a few voices. We're going to start with Charlie, Olivia, and Zadie Severn. Actually, we're starting with Charlie. Okay. Very close.
Hello, happy Pride. Pride Month is about being proud of the LGBTQ community. My siblings and I are members of the LGBTQ community because we are in a two-mom household. It's a wonderful community that we have always embraced, and it has wonderful people. Shelter Rock is a community that we have also embraced this year. My siblings and I have loved coming here on Sunday mornings to discuss different topics during RE class time. RE is out for the summer, but we have still found a reason to come here early in the morning for the community. Yesterday's Pride Walk, breakfast, and sign making for Port Washington Pride was fun.
I enjoyed having tea and making signs with my family before going to the Port Washington Pride Walk. When we were making the signs, everyone was complimenting each other on their work. I noticed how kind that was. It made me feel good about the signs I made.
Yesterday I made signs with Matilda, and it was so much fun. We were very focused when we made our signs. We also did some drawing at the UU tent during the Pride party. We ate lots of Ralph's ices, danced to good music, and got our faces painted.
Thank you.
We highly recommend the Port Washington Pride event and look forward to seeing you there next year. Hopefully, we'll see you there.
Thank you very much. You can get up to your seats. I think our Vice President has a word to say. Amy? Yes, this is the other end of things.
Thank you. Okay, just a warning, I'm going to go over, but I have a reason why.
You're fine.
Good morning. In truth, why I believe I'm up here today is that I asked Mary Ellen at the Pride event yesterday. I said, "Hey, do you need any help tomorrow?" And I actually meant with lunch. And she said, honestly, would you be willing to speak tomorrow? And so here I am. I also want to point out that we went to Pride yesterday specifically because Sam reached out to me in the morning, said, "Hey, are you going?" And I just wanted to say that because we really had a wonderful experience yesterday. I'm going to talk more just kind of broadly about my experience and reflection, but I just appreciate the outreach. And I just think it's just a lesson to all of us about one little text can get us all together. And I just really enjoyed our time together yesterday. Okay, if I understood the assignment correctly, I am supposed to speak about what it means to me personally to attend Pride yesterday in Port Washington, but also what it meant to me as a UU. The second part, what it means to me as a UU, is easy. Anything other than a welcoming community would have felt unnatural to me. I'll give you a brief history of my allyship. Truthfully, I don't think of myself as an ally. I was challenging myself on why, like why not, do I not like really think about that label? Where I landed was that growing up in the 90s, gay culture, in particular male gay culture, was visible. My favorite TV show, My So-Called Life, which centered around high schoolers, had a prominent queer character. And I absolutely loved Will and Grace. I don't recall a time that I had an aha or an, oh, I didn't know gay was a thing. It was just a fact of life. The only moment in childhood that was memorable around queerness that I remember very clearly, when I was in the back seat of our car and with my elementary school best friend being driven somewhere, and any parent that is in the room knows this is an amazing time for engaging with or overhearing conversations with kids. Anyway, I remember telling my friend I thought the lead singer from Blind Melon was so cute. If anyone remembers the music video for No Rain, they'll completely understand what prompted this conversation. And she said something to me along the lines of, "Wait, don't you know?" And I was like, "No, what?" And she said, "He's bi." And I said, "What does that mean?" And God bless my mom for not saying a word. She just listened this whole time. And my friend explained to me what it meant, that he was attracted to both men and women. And I just kind of paused and just remember this feeling, well, sounds to me like he still likes girls. So I truly did not understand what the problem was. I really didn't. And I don't recall my mom, I have to talk with her about this. I don't recall her saying anything during that conversation, but I remember this sense from the front seat being like, well, she has a point. Anyway, that blasé, matter-of-fact attitude around queerness has had its pitfalls, I'll admit. Yes, I was open, understanding, and accepting. This meant through junior high and high school, some of my closest friends were gay. They still are. They're still gay, still my best friends. I do want to acknowledge this as well, because this is a part of my awareness. I want to acknowledge that most of my experience with the community has centered around gay male culture. With the exception of my sister's good friend checking in on me every once in a while and sending me cards on my birthday that says, with a palm tree, "Wish you were queer." That's all I got. It's like the greatest thing. What a compliment. Anyway, I just wanted to acknowledge that, because my experience with gay culture is really in one specific part of the community. So by 14 years old, so being an ally, I suppose, I didn't think about it in that way, but it was part of my identity. And from what I've been told by friends, I was seen that way. I've been told that I was seen as a safe space. And that's why I was shocked this spring semester of my senior year of college. A friend of mine who I'd been friends with since freshman year came out to me. And when he told me, I was so hurt. He knew I had other gay friends. He knew I would love and accept him. And I didn't understand why. And what I felt like on my end, it was that he was lying to me like for so many years. And I was so confused about this. And I said that to him. And at this point in the conversation, I remember him leaning across the table. We were in Qdoba, leaning across the table, and he was like, Ames, this is not about you. Oh, he was right. It was not about me. I, up until that point, just kind of took it as, oh, you're gay, okay, whatever, move on. But I am so grateful for that conversation. I learned so much in just like the bits and pieces, and I'm so thankful he took the time to start to explain his full experience to me. After that conversation, I understood that I could be as open, welcoming, and loving and all of those things, but I also realized to be their true friend, I needed to really just be a witness to their experience. Bringing this back to yesterday, of course I would go to a Pride event, show my support, duh, no brainer. It's naturally aligned with who I am and how I show up in the world. But there was another piece that snuck up on me. When thinking about what I was going to talk about today, I started to get emotional, like I am now. I choked up, and I was driving, and I'm like, what the heck? You're making this about yourself again? What's going on? But I realized what I was experiencing was just this deep gratitude for the community and what the culture has given to me. So up until this point, I've talked about the community in a kind of a quiet sense, like love, support, acceptance, being a witness, bearing witness, and more of, kind of, I think what attracted me or attracted people to me. I'm not quite sure what that was about. So again, just musing here. But there's another part about being around the community that can feel very loud. It can feel very effervescent out there. And when I think of that feeling, it's like a firework bursting. There's big energy, it's colorful, it sparkles, and it can be so much fun to be around. And I just feels like I told Jackson, I was like, next year I'm gonna be on the stage. And he was like, no, please God, no. Anyway, so again, it just this gratitude, that was the part I wanted to really focus on here. And it was a part that was maybe not what I was planning on saying, but it just being open and honest about my experience and the fullness of my experience yesterday. But this openness, this bigness, this loudness, this colorfulness, that what I've experienced has really allowed me to be myself in front of my gay friends in a way that I feel like I couldn't in other spaces. My gay male friends love, appreciate, and accept me and accept things about me that straight culture, especially straight men, not to knock straight men on Father's Day, I know it's kind of not great, but they say it. They say it, they appreciate, they celebrate it, my bigness, my silliness, my loudness, my dance floor antics. I'm just more apt to let the fullness of myself be seen. I feel like I can really allow myself to sparkle, and I really feel like that is a gift. My gay friends also have the capacity and willingness to have conversations that I don't necessarily find in other spaces as well. A friend of mine recently joked, he's gay, that being gay is a superpower. And he goes, sorry, but I think we're superior. And we had a big laugh about it, but when he went on to say because of his experience, he's more in tune with himself and with others, and I have to agree. So there's fun, there's depth in these relationships, but there's another thing. There's safety. For much of my life, if I'm being honest, men have scared me. I feel like I've been on guard, vigilant. I'm grateful for the community, that what it provides. When I'm in it, I can relax, I can let my guard down. I've probably gone on way too much longer than I was supposed to, sorry. But I really appreciate you listening, and I'm so thankful for this opportunity to reflect on this part of my life, what it means to be an ally. How grateful I am for all the queer community has given me throughout my life. Safety, love, acceptance, silliness. And finally, to bring it back to our community, I'm grateful to have found this religious community where we can all be together. Sometimes I feel like gay culture can be sidelined, separated. They're okay, but not together. But here, at least I hope, there's a feeling that we are one community where we are safe and can and are encouraged to show up as our whole sparkly selves.
And so we say we have an LGBTQ subcommittee. It's the subcommittee of the Social Justice Committee, and Kelly is the chair. A little bit.
Good morning. I'm Kelly Lennon. My pronouns are she, her. And I, too, was asked to explain why I attended the Port Washington Pride Walk yesterday. And, okay, thank you. I attended as an ally because I'm constantly reminded that ally is a verb. So it's not enough to just say it or wear this pin. I don't know if you can see it. It says ally, but so I'm an ally, right? No, you have to show up. So I do that by attending walks and marches and putting out a pride flag and using my pronouns and calling my legislators and signing petitions and just showing up wherever I can. So if you have a pride walk in your town or festival, please show up. It matters. Thank you.
Thank you, Kelly. You know, June is a funny month around here. We've got things that have to happen, right? And so you try to figure out how to apportion the Sundays. And as we were planning with the LGBTQI subcommittee plus when to do Pride, we settled on this day, and then we said to each other, "Oh crap, that's I'm sorry, did I say that out loud?" That's Father's Day, and rather than be upset about it, we said, what an opportunity. I wonder if there might be a father with something to say, and I wonder if that father might have a relationship to the LGBTQ plus community. And of course there is. May we welcome the Carmodys.
Hi, I am Bill Carmody. My pronouns are he, him, and I am an ally in training. I say ally in training because I never stop training. I've been doing this all my life, and I continually get better each and every year. But I want to also introduce my daughter, Violet. Her pronouns are she, her. She's transgender and the pride of my life. About 8 years ago, I almost lost her. She fell from a balcony 18 feet to the wooden floor exactly like you're under your feet right now. And when I got her, I thought she was dead. It was both the worst and best Christmas of my life. It was an opportunity for me to realize what I had, and it was an opportunity for me to deeply connect as a father in a very different way, having almost lost my daughter. And so a few years later, we were playing pool at my father's house, and Violet reached for the extra cue to make the shot, you know, the bridge. And my dad joked and said, you know, when I used the bridge at your age, someone else called me a girl. And Violet turned to her and said, that's what I would prefer. I prefer to be called a girl. And it was the first time that had ever been spoken. And to my dad's credit, he goes, really? That's amazing. And the two of us celebrated in that moment and danced in that moment with Violet. And in that time, Violet said, you know, I'm not quite ready to tell everyone else, so I'm just going to keep this quiet for now. So we totally respected it. And then a few years later, in the hot tub, we were having a conversation in the evening, and she said, I'm ready. I said, you're ready for what? I'm ready. My name is Violet, and I would like to, my pronouns are she, her. And that's how I would like to be addressed from this point forward. And I said, awesome, that's amazing. I'm so proud of you. See, Violet is courageous. She has a level of courage I aspire to. The thing is that I know so many of my friends in high school who were transgender but could not felt that they could not share their experience. My gay friends, my lesbian friends, they felt that they had to be quiet about it because it wasn't safe. In truth, it's still not safe. In truth, there's over 400 legislation bills that are trying to be passed right now to take away her rights. That infuriates me, because we all have a right to live. So when I say that I'm an ally in training, I'm figuring out how to be a better ally each and every day. Last year, Kelly had me up on the stage having a conversation about transgender rights, and it was one of the most privileged feelings and experiences. I do public speaking for a living, but that was one of my favorite events of all time. Thank you, Kelly, for having me there. And part of it was to be able to talk to other transgender folks about the importance of these issues and what I can do as a cisgender, heterosexual, white male of privilege. You see, the problem is when we talk about BIPOC and we talk about all of the, Juneteenth, all of this happens from a place of, well, that's their problem. That's what they're up to. And it's bullshit, excuse my language. Because as an ally, we are here to make a difference. None of us is safe if all of us aren't safe. And I want to live in a world where Violet can be who she is, be proud every day, and feel totally safe. That's my vision for all of us, which is why I am standing on the side of love. Thank you.
I think it's odd to hear you call yourself an ally in training, because I would say you are an ally in mastery. But being a master doesn't mean you can't grow, and you are always growing, and it impresses me to no end. You are the whole reason I was able to come out in the first place. The courage you exude, it goes to everyone. If any of you have ever had an interaction with Bill, I think you can understand this revelation. If you see him being himself, he dances like no one's there. He brings this power to a room that lets anyone be themselves. And I never would have been able to come out as who I am without this kind of love and support. You don't need to fully understand the people around you to empower them. I don't think you ever really did understand before I came out, but it never stopped you from loving me. And that love, that courage you gave me is why I am here today as I am.
Thank you. Thank you.
So we'll just take a moment to let this all soak in, and I think we have another beautiful musical message from Brian and Nathaniel.
Proud of your boy, I'll make you proud of your boy. Believe me, bad as I've been, you're in for a pleasant surprise. I've wasted time, I've wasted me. So say I'm slow for my age, a late bloomer, okay, I agree that I've been one rotten kid, some sun, some pride, and some joy. But I'll get over these lousing up, messing up, screwing up times. You'll see now comes the better part. Someone's gonna make good, cross his stupid heart. Make good and finally make you proud of your boy. Tell me that I've been a louse and a loafer. You won't get a fight here, no sir. Say I'm a gold brick, a goof off, no good, but that couldn't be all that I am. Water flows under the bridge, let it pass, let it go. There's no good reason that you should believe me, not yet. I know, but someday and soon I'll make you proud of your boy. Though I can't make myself taller or smarter or handsome or wise, I'll do my best. What else can I do? since I wasn't born perfect like you. Dad, I will always try hard to make you proud of your boy.
In just a moment, all of us are invited to go into the social hall for Sunday Cafe, hosted today by the LGBTQ plus subcommittee. If you are a visitor today, please stop by the welcome desk so that you can be our guest at lunch. And for those who make a contribution for lunch, know that a portion of your donation will go to support Pink Haven Coalition, a national network of organizations that help to house people displaced from their homes because of their transgender identification. May I ask the volunteers for our extinguishing of the chalice flame to come up forward. I think you were given a card. Let me give this blessing. These are the words of Sam Allen, a student at our Star King School for the Ministry in Oakland, California. He calls them the Beatitudes. Blessed are the gender outlaws, those born in violence on the horizon and whose narrowly purposefully avoid it through restricted movements and lost opportunities. Blessed are those who are murdered, those who are killed, those who are abused, that they leave this world far too easily. For you have lived your truth boldly, and your life and memory are your testament, however brief and brilliant you lived on this earth. Blessed are the ones who are themselves in spite of danger. The price you pay for authenticity is dwarfed by the confidence of your honesty. Blessed are the flawed, meaning blessed are all of us who make mistakes, who try faithfully to correct our missteps, to be persons of integrity in this challenging world. We do our best, we miss relationships, and we build glimmering castles with our friends and other loved ones in this place where cement stacks itself upon the earth. Blessed are the allies, the understanding, those who find the best in us and others, for you will be embraced by many who will love you, for you are beloved by all of us. Blessed are the family who change, who do their best to understand, who keep their perspective, but widen it to include others who have surprised you. For love is your song, and you are fully loved in return. Blessed are the strivers, the wanters, the creatives, and all of us who just try to be good people in our communities, in our relationships, who shall build the land that now we are working on. Blessed are all, for all strive, all work, all want of something. Blessed, blessed, blessed are all of us, for all that we call holy loves us back. May we live in love and share it with all among and beyond us. And as we extinguish the chalice flame, hear these words of encouragement from Cricket Hall.
May the drag stage rise to meet you.
May the world rise to accept and embrace you.
May the rainbow of love enfold you.
May your pronouns always be supported and your dead name forgotten.
May those who you invite into your life remain loyal.
May your chosen family lift you up and catch you when you need it. May you be able to catch others. May you be able to catch others when they need it.
May you remember, sensitivity is not weakness, but instead a great strength welling up inside you.
May your fluidity never be hindered.
And until we meet again, may you remember that you are loved and you are divine.
Today, we remember, you can stay up here if you'd like. I love a choir. Today, we remember the Stonewall Uprising of 1969 and the power it unleashed, and we celebrate the ways people of diverse sexual orientations and gender identity have used our power and our freedom in building new cultures. In 1975, the LGBT choral movement in the United States was born in Philadelphia with the birth of the feminist chorus Anacrusis. And in 1978, when San Francisco elected its first openly gay person to the city council, our culture again grew with the establishment of the San Francisco Gay Men's Chorus. Culture building is not easy. That chorus was only 4 weeks old when called to perform for the first time in public at the enormous candlelight vigil following the assassinations of Mayor George Moscone and Supervisor Harvey Milk. Holly Near created a song that would be led by the Gay Men's Chorus, but sung by thousands of people who gathered in candlelight vigil mourning, singing for our lives. The first verse she shared admitted that we are a gentle, angry people. Won't you rise in body and spirit as you are able, and let's sing with one another. We are a gentle, angry people, and we are singing for our lives. We are a gentle, angry people, and we are singing for our lives.
We are a land of many colors.
We are a land of many colors, and we are singing for our lives. We are a land of many colors, and we are singing for our lives.
We are young and old together.
We are young and old together, and we are singing for our lives. We are young and old together, and we are singing. It looks like we're the only ones holding hands. I don't know what that's about.
Everybody.
We know more than just two genders, and we are singing for our lives. We know more than just two genders, and we are singing for our lives.
We are queer and straight together.
We are queer and straight together. little bit with one another. Just hum. We are queer and straight together, all of us queer, because we are not tied to outworn roles, but live in new ways, and as communities of love, communities of promise, resistance, hope, and queer joy. And we are straight together, all of us, holding high moral aims, a deep and compassionate inclusion, claiming the high calling the prophets have pronounced to many generations. Straight and queer and fabulous, we are gentle. We are a gentle, loving people, and we are singing, singing for our lives. We are a gentle, loving people, and we are singing, singing for our lives. A breath. Maybe there's someone near you that you both agree that you get a little hug. And we'll have a beautiful postlude. Please be seated.